About a year and a half ago, as I was going into my sophomore year of college, I was diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Everything that I told myself when I went into that doctor's office was, you won't be less of a person and you won't be broken. But an hour and a half later and a positive diagnosis, I left that doctor's office with a label I had never intended: deficient. This story with Alice Walker and this story of Alice Walker's beauty when the other dancer is herself also covers this same topic. I know we all have different experiences with shame and anger and inner vision, but I think we can all resonate to this. The second piece I will be performing today is Psalm 139, a Psalm of David. This recounts God's omnipresence, omniscience, and ultimately the sovereignty in the lives of his people. Just like Walker has her epiphany, I had mine with Psalm 139. I pray that this shows you a deeper understanding of God's love for us and how he made us. It is a bright summer day in 1947. My father is trying to decide which of his 8 children he will take with him to the county fair. Whirling happily in my starchy frock, showing off my biscuit-polished patent leather shoes and lavender socks, I stand, hands on hips, before my father. "Take me, Daddy! I'm the prettiest!" It was fun being cute, but then one day, it ended. I am 8 years old and a tomboy. I have a cowboy hat, cowboy boots, checker shirt, and pants, both red. My brothers are my playmates. Because I'm a girl, I don't get a gun. Instantly, I'm relegated to the position of Indian. They shoot and shoot and shoot at everything with their new guns. I try to keep up with my bow and arrows. One day, while I'm looking out towards the fields on our makeshift garage, I feel an incredible blow in my right eye. I look down just in time to see my brother lower his gun. Both brothers rush to my side. My eye stings and I cover it with my hand. "If you tell, we'll get a whipping. You don't want that to happen, do you?" Confronted by our parents, we stick to the lie agreed upon. They place me on a bench on the porch, and I close my left eye while they examine the right. There's a tree that grows from underneath the porch that climbs up towards the railing past the roof. This is the last thing my right eye sees. I watch as its trunk, its branches, and its leaves are blotted out by the rising blood. A week after the accident, they take me to see a doctor. "Why did you wait so long to come? Eyes are sympathetic. If one is blind, the other will become luckily blind too." This comment of the doctor's terrifies me, but it is really how I look that bothers me most. Where the BB pellet struck, there was a glob of whitish scar tissue, a hideous cataract on my eye. Now when I stare at people, the favorite pastime up until now, they will stare back, not at the cute little girl, but at her scar. For 6 years, I do not stare at anyone because I do not raise my head. Years later, in the throes of a midlife crisis, I asked my mother and sister whether I changed after the accident. "No. What do you mean?" What do I mean? I am 8 and for the first time doing poorly in school, where I've been something of a whiz since I was 4. We've just moved to the place where the accident occurred. The only time I see friends is when we go back to our old church. The new school is a state penitentiary, or former state penitentiary. It is a large stone building, cold and drafty, crammed to overflowing with boisterous, ill-disciplined children. On the 3rd floor, there's a huge circular imprint of some partition that's been torn out. "What used to be here?" "The electric chair." At night, I have nightmares about the electric chair and all the people reputedly fried in it. I'm afraid of that school, where all the students seem to be budding criminals. "What's the matter with your eye?" When I don't answer, they shove me, insist on a fight. My brother, the one who created the story, comes to my rescue, but then so much brags about protecting me, I become sick. "You did not change. Did I imagine the anguish of never looking up? I am 12. When relatives come to visit, I hide in my room. My cousin Brenda, just my age, comes to find me. "Hello," she asked, looking at a recent school picture on which I did not want taken and on which the glob, as I think of it, is clearly visible. "You still can't see out of that eye?" "No." I flop back over to my bed and onto my book. That night, as I do almost every night, I abuse my eye. I rant and rave at it in front of the mirror. I plead with it to clear up before the morning. I tell it I hate it and despise it. I do not pray for sight, I pray for beauty. You did not change. I'm 14 and babysitting for my brother Bill. Understanding my feelings of shame and ugliness, he and his wife take me to a local hospital where the glob is removed. There's still a small bluish crater where the scar tissue was, but the ugly white stuff is gone. Almost instantly, I become a different girl from the girl who does not raise her head, or so I think. Now that I've raised my head, I win the boyfriend of my dreams. Now that I've raised my head, I have plenty of friends. Now that I've raised my head, classwork comes from my lips as faultlessly as Easter speeches did, and I leave high school as valedictorian, most popular student, and queen, hardly believing my luck. You did not change. I'm 27, and my daughter is almost 3. One day, as I'm putting her down for her nap, she suddenly focuses on my eye. Every day, she watches a television program called Big Blue Marble. It begins with a picture of the Earth as it appears from the moon. It is battered, but full of light, with whitish clouds swirling around it. When I lay her down for her nap, she suddenly focuses on my eye. Mommy, there's a world in your eye. Mommy, where did you get that world in your eye? For the most part, the pain left then. Crying and laughing, I ran to the bathroom. Yes, indeed, I realized, looking into the mirror, there was a world in my eye, and that it was possible to love it. For that, in fact, all it had taught me of shame and anger and inner vision, I did love it. To see it drifting out of orbit in boredom or rolling up out of fatigue, not to mention floating back at attention and excitement, it was deeply suitable to my personality and even characteristic of me. That night, I dream I am dancing to Stevie Wonder's song, Always. As I dance, whirling and joyous, happier than I've ever been in my life, another bright-faced dancer joins me. We dance and kiss each other and hold each other through the night. The other dancers obviously come through all right, as I have done. She is beautiful, whole, and free. And she is also me. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all of my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely, the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness would not be dark to you. For darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. If only you, God, would slay the wicked away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries, they misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.